This is Eldritch Song of the Magic Online clan Seraphim, and I'm going to play a cube draft. Alright, so let's see what we got. Pack 1. Alright, so nothing here is too crazy. Volrath Stronghold might be good for a certain archetype. Also got, I guess, some decent like aggro type cards. Maybe we got a Bloodbraid Elf, really. Psychotog. Yeah, there's nothing really in this pack that's making me sort of lean in any particular direction. Volrath Stronghold is pretty tempting at this point, and I feel like that's probably one of the strongest cards in this pack anyway. And nothing else here really lends itself, obviously, to an archetype, so I'm gonna go ahead and go Volrath Stronghold and see if we can get like a maybe Reanimate type deck. But again, we also get past a Tarmogoyf, which is quite sick. Excuse me. Also a Sneak Attack, which is also very awesome. So Sneak Attack could be fun. Combo that with Volrath Stronghold, play sort of a Reanimate deck, so it sort of plays a dual role of getting cards into your graveyard as well as letting you just blow out people. And I was thinking about this type of deck just a few days ago, so I think I might go ahead and pass the Tarmogoyf for a Sneak Attack and hopefully get some like Reanimate cards, plus some big beasts like Battlesphere, etc. Yeah, that seems like a fairly good game plan, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Sneak Attack here. Alright. So, nothing is really standing out to me right now. Hero of Oxid Ridge, I guess, could be fun, but it's not exactly the right kind of card for this deck. Could just grab like an Arid Mesa or Marsh Flats just for the land. Yeah, this is looking pretty bleak. I guess Everflowing Chalice seems like a pretty safe pick as well. I hate doing that third pick, but there's really not much else in this pack that's worth grabbing at this point. And I guess the color couldn't hurt either. I'll take the Chalice. Alright, so we've got Sphinx of the Steel Wind, which is always a good Reanimate target. Got Desolation Angel, which can be fun. Faithless Looting might actually be the pick here, though. I feel like I could probably wheel the Sphinx, and the Faithless Looting is a fantastic enabler for Reanimate. So I think I will go ahead and take that and pass the rest of these and hopefully wheel Sphinx. Alright, so Wheel of Fortune seems like it could be awesome as well. There's also a Badlands, which I think would fit in quite well with the deck. So between those two, Avalanche Riders is decent as well. Between those two, I think I have to take the Wheel of Fortune. Alright. So yeah, we're kind of not really getting... We're getting a lot of utility cards, but none of the meat of the deck right now. For right now, I think I'm just going to take a Watery Grave out of here. Seems like a pretty solid pick. I think overall the best card in the pack is probably Deranged Hermit, but I'm not planning on playing green at this point. And Watery Grave seems like it could be good, maybe a splash some kind of blue card. Alright, so Murderous Redcap, it's definitely a possibility. She combos pretty well with Sneak Attack. And let's see, Lightning Bolt is obviously fun, Oblivion Stone is fun. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Murderous Redcap out of the pack. Alright, so we've got Figure of Destiny, Bitter Blossom, Duress. Bitter Blossom is a lot of fun. I might just take that just in case we run into like any kind of sword. It's also good with some like recurring nightmare type effects, so I'm just go ahead and take the Bitter Blossom out of here, and hopefully find a good way to abuse it in later packs. Alright, so back to our first pack, and Goblin Welder seems like it could be interesting. I haven't exactly found a way to really play that card effectively, but you know, it's one of the better cards in the pack anyway. I don't really see anything too crazy here. Psychotog actually could be fun if we end up playing some blue. It's really good with reanimate type cards, so I guess I'll go ahead and take that instead. And we did wield a Mirrored Battlesphere, so I'm definitely going to be grabbing that out of here. Alright, from this pack, definitely not going to take Necropotent. Seems like a powerful card, but not really what I'm going for here. Guess I'll just take a Hero of Oxid Ridge. Oh, Pithing Needle could be a good sideboard answer. Yeah, I'll take the Needle. So we've got a Mastercore or a Desolation Angel. The Angel doesn't seem very effective, really, for this type of deck. I don't want to be destroying my own lands, and I'm really ever going to be paying the kicker, so let's go ahead and take the Mastercore and, you know, hopefully get a chance to maybe use it. Here, let's go ahead and take Raven's Crime. And no reason to play Wildfire. Pyroclasm seems good. Lighthouse. Alright, pack 2. Alright, so Gristlebrand seems like it'd be amazing. And so would Thundermaw Hellkite, I would say. This pack definitely is a little bit better. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and take the Gristlebrand out of the pack. Seems like a pretty solid, actually a really solid guy for reanimate strategy if we can ever get those cards. And hopefully we will in the next 2 packs. But let's go ahead and take that guy and see where we end up. Alright, so we got Disciple of Bolus, Consecrated Sphinx, Braids. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much the main ones, I think. Consecrated Sphinx, obviously, I don't need to really explain how that card is amazing. Disciple of Bolus seems to me like a really good card here. And I think that's going to be the pick based on what I have right now. And be nice to also wheel Bituminous Blast at some point. Alright. So this pack is a little bit useless for what our deck's trying to do, hopefully. But actually, Zealous Conscript is quite good. And definitely worth considering, and it's probably the best card anyway in this pack for us, regardless, so Conscript seems like a pretty strong pick here. Kargan Dragonlord, no. Profane Command seems like the pick here. It's also going to be our first reanimate type spell. Definitely need those at this point, so let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, so we've got Demonic Tutor and Massacre Worm, both of which are just awesome. And Puppeteer Click. It's opponent's graveyard, so we're not really taking advantage of our own graveyard, but it's still a thing. Massacre Worm, obviously really good. Demonic Tutor, obviously really good. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Tutor and hope the Massacre Worm or the Puppeteer wheels. Elish Norn, not a bad target. Nicole Bolas. I actually could end up playing the Bolus. If I didn't take him, the options would be like Phyrexian Arena, Dark Confidant, neither of which are fantastic options in this type of deck. And I am a big fan of Nicol Bolas. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and take the Planeswalker here. Alright, so we've got potentially Firestorm, maybe Siege Gang Commander seems like a more reasonable pick out of here. And yeah, that seems like a pretty solid one. Alright, so we've got Thoughtseize, which is probably the pick. Chain Lightning. Well, then again, Thoughtseize is really effective. Yeah, let's take the Thoughtseize. Alright, here I'll be pretty happy to have a Bloodstained Mire. Reflecting Pool is also quite good, but being able to filter the deck is always nice. Okay, here I think I'll take the Vivid Crag just in case I want to end up splashing blue. Alright, here, you know, the Crumbling Necropolis certainly looks good, but I think Stagger Shock, just being removal, might be the way to go here. Alright, I think I'll just take, wow, I guess either of these kind of works. This Keldon Vandal is a bit more aggressive. And yeah, I think that's kind of the direction I want to go in anyway. Alright, and we do get back Massacre Worm, which, you know, among these three picks seems pretty straightforward. It's also a pretty sweet card, all on its own. And a Phyrexian Arena. I'm not sure whether or not we'll play it, but it's a very good card. And certainly worth considering. So right now it looks like our strategy mainly revolves around Vorath, Stronghold, and Sneak Attack, the sort of two first picks here. You know, getting out our sort of value creatures like Battlesphere, Siege Gang Commander, Massacre Worm, etc. Cards like that, Gristlebrand, Disciple, and then sort of recurring them with Stronghold. Alright, last pick that. Alright. Wow, okay, so we pretty much have our pick when it comes to what sword we want to get. And I feel like we do need a sword, considering we've got, you know, potentially some good creatures to throw it on, like if we played Bitter Blossom. See, otherwise, if I didn't pick a sword for some reason, maybe go for the Throat, Time Spiral, I don't know. One of those cards could be kind of fun. But I think of the swords here, the Sword of Light and Shadow, I guess, works better with our deck overall. Might kind of be fun. I think Sword of Feast and Famine is hands down the strongest of these. But I just like the synergy of the Sword of Light and Shadow, to be honest. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Sword of Light and Shadow here. Alright, so we've got Jace Memory Adept, which is pretty much like a sort of hands down win card. Got Lotus Petal, Mox Diamond, Kiki Jiki, which could be a fantastic card, also to add to the deck. Being able to make copies of things is pretty sick. Yeah, I think I want to take Kiki Jiki out of here and let someone else try playing a Jace. Okay. Greater Gargadon with Sneak Attack maybe could be fun. And even if it's not, well, I mean, with Sneak Attack out, definitely, you know, before the end step, you know your creatures are going to die anyway, you can just sack it to remove a counter off the Greater Gargadon. Could definitely be an option. Let's see, what else? I mean, Dismember obviously is really good. I think I'm just going to take the Dismember and then probably wheel the Greater Gargadon based on what has happened in the previous packs. Mana Vault also tons of fun. Worth considering, but I'm not really planning on the ramping. I'm not really planning to ramp anything. So Terminate's good. Flametongue Kavu is good. I think those are the two main cards I see here that'd be worth kind of choosing for, and I think Terminate right now, just having the removal, actually just having, I think, a creature-based strategy, just based on the way the deck is sort of built, seems like a more effective way to kind of get more value out of the cards. Living Death. Living Death seems like it could be just the nuts. Yeah. I think I'm going to play Living Death. That seems like creep. And then hopefully Sundering Titan Wheels will pick up another big bomb. Alright, so we've got Tombstalker Demon, which is nuts. Seems like probably the pick here. Bloodgift Demon's also quite fun. Either one of those cards would be great. The fact that he's got Delve seems pretty nice. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Tombstalker Demon. Maybe wheel the Bloodgift one, depending. Lava Claw Reaches also would be a nice pick. Force of Will. Mimic Vat could definitely be fun. Snuff Out, Chainer's Edict. See, Mimic Vat would play pretty well with almost all the creatures in here, which all sort of have benefits from Enter the Battlefield type effects. So yeah, I think that's a pretty solid pick. It's always nice to have sort of alternate game plans here. Let's see. Arc Lightning. Fork Bolt. Yeah, I think I'll take the Arc Lightning here. Alright, Crucible of Worlds. Seems like it could be a pretty sweet card, especially if we end up playing something like Raven's Crime, possibly. Then again, we've also got like Multi-Tail Masticore we could play, which, could combo pretty well with some things. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and take the Masticore. Not playing like a dedicated sort of dredge deck. I don't know if they want to play a Crucible. Alright, so Diabolic Edict, Chaos Warp. Edict is fun. I think it's probably the pick here. Chaos Warp is really neat, but it often, it has like a chance of backfiring on you pretty bad. So go ahead and take the more surefire answer here. And Squee might actually be sort of fun. Kind of combos with, I guess, Sagatog, if we end up playing that. Alright, so none of these cards really matter too much. I'll just go ahead and take Burning Uzinyi. Alright. Yeah, Gifts Ungiven it's probably the pick here. Yeah. I might end up splashing blue just for the Sagatog in that card. Oh, it's nice to get a Lava Claw though. And a last pick, Isamaru. Alright, well, that's the deck. I don't understand how we went through that entire thing with barely any reanimate cards at all, considering how many ones we have in the cube. It must be someone else playing black, for sure. But yeah, we still got a pretty solid deck, I think, and I'll be taking it into Magic Online and doing the building, so keep watching. Alright, it's time to do some deck building, so let's see. Important cards. Let's see. Profane Command, Gristlebrand, Tombstalker, Worm, Big Death, Disciple. Let's see. Kicky Jicky is pretty sweet. Siege Gang Commander, Sneak Attack, obviously. Flame Tongue Kavu, Wheel of Fortune. Faithless Looting, Battlesphere, Sword, Mimic Vat. That's 15. Alright, so we've got plenty of room. Alright, so Thoughtseize seems good. Edict, Tutor, Bitter Blossom. Let's see what else. Zealous Conscript seems like it'll be crazy. Murderous Redcap, good. So let's see, we've got quite a few choices here. Could try to play a blue card, splash it. I've got a couple sources that I could theoretically grab before, so like 3, which is not bad. Also got Dismember and Phyrexian Arena. Probably play 3 cards or so. I'm looking in here, I don't really see anything too crazy. I wouldn't mind just playing these 3 here. We definitely have some pretty good targets for things, so let's just go ahead and toss those. And I guess Gifts Ungiven can't make it. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and put Vara Stronghold in there. We've got Reaches, Bloodstained Mire, Watery Grape, potentially, and a Vivid Crag. And let's see. Yeah, we don't really need the Watery Grave, I guess. So let's pull that out for right now. So, a lot of black cards, a lot of red cards, but mostly black. We've already got pretty much 2 sources, but we also got 2 reds, so we can go kind of either way. Let's see what Magic Online says. Yeah, I like how they don't bother. So we've got room for 13 lands. So like 8 and 7 seems, or sorry, that's not good math. 7 and 6 seems like a reasonably good choice here. Yeah, seems fine. Plus a lot of these cards, not necessarily planning on casting, like hard casting them like Gristlebrand, not planning to hard cast that guy. But yeah, this looks like it'll work for us. And of course it adds land I don't own, which is always the best. So let's go ahead and dump those, and let's look for, just go to Innistrad block and grab our lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 and 6. Alright, so that looks reasonable.